Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, it's something a bit different for you. We're on board a Predator 60 EVO called Stingray, which we have already filmed, but since then we've sold her and we're now filming her for her new owner. So in today's video, I'm going to give you an in-depth walkthrough of this boat, a point of view style different to our last video style, but we're going to use some of that previous video to give you some of those gorgeous drone running shots. So stick with me, join me for a full tour of this Pred 60, and you'll see that she's in good condition now as she was a few years ago. So let's go. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at those drone shots of what I'm sure you will agree is a stunning looking boat, and I'm rather fond of these Predator 60s. They're a great looking boat with so much styling detail, which we're going to show you today, but you can see from that drone running images she really does look the part. I thought what we'll do today first is we'll have a quick look at the aft cockpit. Now, why do I think this is such a great model? I think really it boils down to this outside inside feel. So you can see here we've put the window down. So here we've got an electric window which goes up and down at the push of a button, and that allows you to either completely close off this saloon here and make it an internal space, or link it with that external seating group section. And I think what that does is just gives you this huge flexibility with great seating options for entertaining, whether it's on a windy day like it is today, because it is rather blowy, one of the reasons we haven't gone out, and or you want to have a great big party day with lots of friends and family and have lots of bums on seats. You could have the grown-ups in here, the children out there who've just been swimming, because that's more of a wet area. So I think that works really well. In the centre section there of the seating group, you've got this lovely table which folds out. So you've got a teak folding table, and then you've got this wraparound seating group section which has got lots of, we mentioned earlier on, the styling details. So you can see there you've got that nod to the Sunseeker heritage of the S there, kicking down all the way through that upholstery group. This boat is all original fabrics, all original upholstery. She's just been out of the water. She's just been cleaned by one of the premium local boat caring companies, Crystal Marine. So Don Tennant has been on board this boat, worked right through it, and she's looking fantastic. Here, just in front of Nathan, the cameraman, we've got the wet bar. So you can see here we've got an electric griddle, we've got a hot and cold sink, and of course the all-important ice maker and a fridge there. But all, as you can see, all in beautiful condition, all looking great, ready for the season really. Here at the second station, so this boat's fitted with a second station, we've got the Zenta joystick. Now the Zenta joystick allows you to control the boat using the joystick, and that combines both engines and the bow and stern thrusters in order to control the boat. Now, as I hinted at a minute ago, it's very, very windy today. The berth we're on here on the River Dart, we probably could have taken her out, but it was just deemed to be unnecessary. But by having the bow and stern thrusters, it does give you great flexibility that on breezier days, you can still go and operate the boat. Here in the aft cockpit itself, we've got a separate audio system. We've got this really smart LED lighting system as well, which looks great at night. You can dim those, so you can actually set those to different scenes, different brightnesses, which is very nice. Behind Nathan there, we've got the tender garage. Now I'm going to leave you hanging for that. We're going to look at that later on in the video. There's no tender in there at the moment because that's out for servicing, but it'd be quite interesting to show you the tender space without the tender in there, because you probably very rarely get to see that. And then underneath our feet here, we'll also go look in the engine room. This boat's fitted with the Volvo Penta engines, and we're going to dive in there and have a proper look around that engine room in a bit. So, but before we do that, let's go back into the warm, where it's a bit warmer out of that easterly wind. And we'll start looking at the saloon and the helm. So here we've got the saloon seating section, which we touched on a minute ago. Again, it's a C-shaped wraparound section. It's underneath this carbon fibre, and this is a genuine carbon fibre opening roof. Again, I won't go crazy with opening it today because of the wind, but you'll see from the previous images and the running shots that this can open all the way back. And for its class, I think it's probably one of the biggest opening roofs of its class, especially being a solid hardtop, which makes, especially in the UK, a big difference. Just been serviced, so the mechanism of that has also just been serviced by the prep team for the season, and it operates all nice and smooth. The helm itself, everything you could possibly imagine. It's got these really nice styled seats. Excuse my phone there. You can see there with the weave and the badge, and they're just really comfy as well. And they just feel really premium. They feel really good quality. The helm itself, I've got an electric window on my starboard side. I feel very comfortable. I've got great visibility forward. We have got those, we're going to look at that later. We've got the forward facing sunbathing sections on the bow, which the backrest tilt up. So we've got those up to show you, but we'll go and look at those in a minute. But you can obviously fold those flat. The helm itself, obviously twin engines. So you've got the twin controls here. We've got another Zenta joystick control there, and that's got a really nice ergonomic feel to it. Works really well for holding the joystick. And then we've got the multi-function steering wheel. So on this steering wheel I can actually control the screens just by touching the button there. You can see I can go up and down. Okay, it might sound like a bit of a gimmick, but actually it saves you having to reach over the dash when you're underway. I can slide the seat forward if I wanted to, so I can bring that forward. I can lift the steering wheel up. So actually if I was underway, I can control that steering wheel really, really nice and easy. We've got the boat CM8 system. So quite a few years ago, Sunseeker moved over to a digital control system. And what this allows you to do is to control lots of the boat systems on here. So we've got the fuel tank levels, so you can see fresh water tank, black water tank on here. If I go now to, say, interior lights, I can actually control the interior lights from here. I can turn my generator on and off from here. So you've got to see about your chargers on there. You can see what current we're drawing, and I can see here we're taking the power at the moment from the shore power system, but if I wanted to start the Jenny, then I could. Generators only done 90 hours since new, so generators in the UK on boats don't get used like they do in the Med, but 90 hours from you is nothing. You are going to ask me what the hours on the engines are, and Captain Taylor was here a minute ago and has moved the ignition fob, so I shall find that in the video and we'll make sure we get the hours on at some point in this screen. Nathan, put the hours on here somewhere. But yeah, as I'm sure you'll see, it's a really nice layout on the dash. I've got twin Simrad screens up top here. Again, very up to date. You can see, and it's all very standard now, but you can see here we've got our orientation here at Dart Haven Marina. So we're bow in on a hammerhead mooring here on the inside of, but really reactive, really clear. It's a bright day today and they're really clear screens. We've also got a iPad mini. So because the boat has its own separate audio system, Sunseeker supply an iPad mini. So you can set that up as your effectively boat iPad. So you can have all of your music on there if you wanted to, and that then goes through the boat's audio system. So it allows you to zone the audio, have different audio playing and that type of thing. So it works really well, and that works quite smart to have it there on the dash. We've got a wireless charger here. Okay, scan-stroke wireless charger. Again, it sounds simple, but actually it's just somewhere nice to chuck your phone and know it's getting some charge. I did say it was going to be quite an in-depth video, so I'm even going to run through the switchgear here. Switchgear on the dash, we've got the anchor breaker here, we've got the battery crossover, we've got the sliding operation for the roof and the window here that I mentioned, and the horn. So that definitely works. And then this exclamation mark is to allow you to silence any alarms that might appear. Just going back to this system quickly, what this does do as well, it allows you to monitor alarms. So if, for example, you've been on the boat and the bilge pump kept running, you may not know if you went on the boat, but this will actually log, say, for example, the bilge pump running. So it's a nice way of keeping track of what's going on the boat, and it's a bit of a nod to a larger boat system that you might see on larger yachts down onto the smaller boats. So yeah, really, really nice. Behind me here, we've got a rise and fall television. Now I haven't prepped myself very well here, so there is going to be a remote for that. We've got the fridge here, which is well stocked with some brew dogs. So we've got, this is a second fridge to then your one out in the aft cockpit. We've got the drinks fridge there, and this, quite conveniently placed, is the remote for the TV, which isn't on. But there is a remote for that TV in there. Oh, in fact, Nathan's found it. There you go. Nathan's found the hardwired remote. Good old Nathan. So you've got a Samsung frame television popped in there. So that works really nicely. And it is a bit of a nod again to the boat's design and feel generally. It has all lots of, like I said, lots of design details, even down to that Samsung frame. So if you've got the TV up, you can have the Samsung art effect on the TV, which works really nicely. See, when you're not using it, you can pop it down. Trying to think what else I need to talk to you about in here. The boat does have AC, So she is fully fitted out for air conditioning, which is reverse cycle. Now, in the UK, we do get some times of the year now, especially with our climate changing, where you do want the AC. She does have a passerelle as well. So she is a full med spec boat. Now, yes, she is UK tax paid, which obviously, if you know what you're listening to and hearing, that probably means that you're not going to take her to the Mediterranean because she is UK VAT paid. However, you could take her there and always bring her back, subject to you keeping in line with all the regulations and VAT rules. We can pass on experts' advice for you on that, as we are not experts, but we can certainly link you up with the relevant experts. Just why I see it, you've got the life raft storage there under that rear seat. So that's, again, a very nice practical feature and gives you the option to leave the life raft in somewhere that's safe and easily accessible. Wow, lots to talk about. I don't know what the counter is on there, but just talking about this area alone, we're up to probably quite a few minutes. So what we'll do is we'll just pause for a second. We'll leave you with a bit more of that lovely drone footage, and we'll then go, perhaps, I think, look on the bow and go and look up there. And then we'll start looking at the cabin layout. It's a 3-cabin boat, so lots to see down there. So keep watching for a minute, we're back in a second. So let's give you some point of view rather than me talking to camera. So we're gonna go up on the starboard side deck now. And as I do that, it is quite windy, so I'm gonna hold the mic, but look at the shine everywhere you look on this boat. It is so shiny. Now, it has literally just been done, so obviously it's gonna be outside now, but look at the shine on that painted section of the hardtop. Really, really good. And that lovely bit of glazing there on the starboard side. Synthetic decking, super practical for UK use. Now, this really does look like this all the time. You can scrub it, you can clean it, and it's a great way. It's very friendly, shall we say, to maintain. It's easy to maintain. Up on the foredeck, I hinted a minute ago, we've got those riser tilting backrests on the sun pads. And you'll see there, we've got those up, and you've got this cool chevron design. So you've got a chevron design on those sun pads, which works well. You've got the teak steps as you come on from the side decks over. And then in these sections here, there's actually a locker, small locker, which is great for putting in lines or covers. And in fact, that's where we put the cover for that, which is obviously, of course, covered up. Walking all the way forward here, you can see that shine is everywhere you look, on all the angles. She really is looking fantastic. You've got the windlass there, which is all nice and clean. And then you've got the anchor locker there. I'm just going to lift up this for you. It says. There you go. So you've got your anchor locker there. And you've got your handle there for releasing the clutch on the windlass. So all beautifully clean. And she does also have the wash down points for the hose. So that, if you're wondering what that does, in fact, just let me show you this. If you're wondering what this little receiver here does, you can plug a special connector into that, and it gives you fresh water flush down. So what you can do, the idea is, if you're in the med and this area here gets all dirty with the ground lines, then you can hose it down without having to drag a hose all the way up the boat. Going back down the port side, we've got low level deck lights, port and starboard. This is where we're probably going to get the wind. You can see that huge roof I was talking about earlier. So you've got that huge carbon fibre and glass roof. And then above here, you can see the rear of that. And you can see just how clean it is. Everywhere you look, it's so clean. And then you've got the open array radar. Again, looking very clean. And then you get back down to the aft cockpit. Wow, that wind's really strong. I'm glad we didn't go out. There is slightly narrower steps on this port side because the bias is to access the boat on the starboard side. We're going to look in this garage shortly. I'm just walking you around the boat. We've got this lovely little seat here on the aft of the garage door as well, which I really like. And then you've got this carbon fibre flick that goes across with the name on. Here on the starboard side, as you can see, the steps are quite a lot larger. You've got your... I'm going to clip my microphone back on now. You've got your door here where your shore power goes. So that's where the shore power is. You've got another freshwater connection in there. And then you've got your freshwater shower on the stern there as well. So synthetic decking runs... Oh, sorry, birds pooed there. We've got synthetic decking that runs all the way over here. Again, with the EVO detailing tucked there into the floor. Yeah, very, very nice. I'm probably not going to put it out today because of the wind. But up here, you've got the carbon fibre faced sunblind, so that tucks into the hardtop moulding. That comes out, and then you've got a sun awning which is black, which extends over this whole sun pad area, and there's a couple of support poles that tuck down into those receivers there to support it. But that gives you the ability to give you some shade on that sun pad. Here's see one of the Dart Harbour launches there. It's actually electric. Phoebe's electric. I've been on that. It's quite interesting being electric. Yeah. Cool. Very cool boat. So you can see here, just from a point of view perspective, just how much space there is. In fact, if I come back here, there's just so much volume on this boat. It really is. Like I said, they're super, super popular, this boat. It always has been very well received. And yeah, so I think without much further ado, let's go down into the cabin space and we'll go and show you all three cabins. Okay, we've shut the door because of the wind, getting on my nerves. We're going to go down now and have a look in the cabin space. As I mentioned earlier on the video, we've got three cabins on board this boat and they're all a really nice size. So we've got a forward VIP up in the forward area. We've got our master cabin midships and then we've got a guest cabin on the starboard side. So I think what we'll do is let's have a look at the galley first and we'll see what we've got going on here. So we've got a really nice composite worktop running all the way around there. We've got Melier appliances, so that's a Melier electric hob. And then we've got a Melier oven. As you can see, I don't think it's probably ever been used. If it has, very occasionally. Decent sized sink there. So this really is a galley that you could use and operate if you're on board the boat with guests and family. We've got these top locker boxes here that have got the catches on, stop things flying out. We've got the Sunseeker crockery set. So this is all standard supply on a Sunseeker. I believe it's Wedgwood, but that's all in its own carrier system. So that's all there, which looks good. And then they look nice with the stainless detailing on. And these run around all the way around here. So you've got the plates, dinner plates, side plates, and saucers there as well. So it's a really well-equipped galley for the size of the boat. I think it works well. You'll have seen earlier on in the drone footage how you've got these beautiful glass windows running all the way up the hull. Now, yes, they look great on the exterior styling, but where they really come into their own is in the marina or when you're at anchor, because down here, you can just get so much more natural light coming in. Even, you know, we're next to a beautiful yacht there, but even there we can see the water. We've got a nice image there coming through that window. Integrated bin into the countertop, so you can lift out this lid here, and then you've got a built-in bin, which again is going a bit of practicality there, which we like. You may have noticed the quality of the videos change, probably for better, because we've moved away from the GoPro. Now the reason for that is the GoPro often flickers with the LED lights, and the LED lighting on this boat is so important. We wanted to show you, so we've gone to the over to the iPhone. But you'll see here we've got lighting everywhere you look. So we've got these really nice detail lights here. We've got LED soft lighting. It really is a key part of this boat's design. We've got the, of course, slimline Melier dishwasher there as well. So we've got that tucked in there. So again, if you are on board, you don't even have to do the washing up. Down here in the lower saloon, we do have a small seating group section. Now, I actually think this works really well because if you wanted to escape for the heat, the cold, the wind in the evening, come down and relax, this works really well as a space. There is another television here facing me. It's a smart television, so you can get that linked into all of your relevant accounts, Netflix, etc. But this works really nice as a small area, even if you want to do a bit of work. Now, the owners of this boat do have a young family, and they use the boat. You may even spot a couple of young family bits and pieces around. But I think this is probably an area where they perhaps give the little ones their breakfast or their dinner, and that works really nicely. That lighting, as I mentioned, tucked around here. And as an upgrade on this boat, it had the hardwood flooring put down here in the lower saloon as well as the upper saloon. So from a practicality side, that works well. Always been a UK boat, this, so she's fitted with the UK plug sockets. You'll see down there we've got UK plugs. Most of these you'll see will be European plugs. Forward cabin, so this is what we would call a forward VIP. Beautiful space. You've got lots of natural light coming in from not only the top light there on the foredeck, but also those hull windows letting lots of light in there. Again, LED lighting everywhere you look, and even down to the stainless steel trimmed with LED, with leather lined panels, somewhere to just stick your phone at night. Let's face it, most people put their phone next to them at night, and actually you can put your phone in that section there, and there's a relevant plug socket to plug a charger in. Audio system, as I said earlier on, runs throughout the boat in different zones. We've got decent amount of hanging wardrobe space in here as well, which again is lit. The air conditioning, which we've already touched upon, runs all the way through the boat, so that's aircon and heating, and the independent unit, so you could have heat in here and then cooling in the saloon, no problem. This is a ensuite cabin, so if I go through here like that, I can open that door. So this is a Jack and Jill arrangement for the for the day heads, but it is also a ensuite to the forward VIP. Beautiful ensuites, and I have to say with Sunseekers, you really do get lovely ensuites, lovely bathrooms. Here we've got a rainfall shower tucked up in the ceiling. We've got a composite lined shower itself, and it works. It's a good size. You've got good head height. You've got a shelf there for your bits and pieces, and all really nice hardware in there as well. Tecmar toilets, really good toilet system, smooth, quiet, obviously of course all freshwater flush, so none of those funny smells. And then in here you've got your cabinetry here, so you can put in there your cosmetics and bits and pieces, and then some more storage underneath. So let's now walk back through. Let's have a look at the starboard guest cabin. So this is a twin Pullman berth cabin. What's quite clever about this cabin is you step down. So when you come in, you step down quite a lot. So when you're in here, you've actually got more space than I think it feels like when you stood up there. 2 berths, decent sized bunks, good length as well, so you'd fit an adult on there, no problem. And even here, even in this cabin, which is your guest cabin, you've got little shelves here to put your watch on at night, your phone on at night. It's so well thought through. Nice fabrics were chosen on this boat by the original owner, so you've got nice herringbone textures. You've got the Roman blinds rather than slatted blinds, which looks really nice. Again, those hull windows letting lots of natural light in, and yet another TV in here. There is a TV in that forward cabin, which I don't think I mentioned. So yeah, it's got everything you could possibly need. And of course, we've still got the master cabin. You've got these stainless steel inlays in the doors. There is a hanger wardrobe space in that cabin, which I didn't show you. Before we go into the master cabin, let's just show you what's in here. So we've got decent amount of storage in there. So if you're wondering what they are in there, they're actually the original Sunseeker bed covers. So when Sunseekers are new, part of the package you get bed covers. So they actually cover up the mattress, which look very nice. But this is set up for the owners staying on board with fresh linen. So they're not on at the moment. Master cabin, full beam, and this really is a superb cabin. The styling, the detailing continues in excess in here in a good way. So you've got the lighting here, you've got again that S, that's all designed to nod back to the heritage of Sunseeker. Lots of details here, lots of designed fabrics on the headboard. You've got lots of lighting, soft lighting, it's all dimmable. You can have different scenes. You've got a decent sized bed, of course, in the middle of the cabin here, which is fore and aft, and that works lovely as an actual berth. Another Samsung frame television tucked at the fore end of the bed. So yeah, I'm sure you'll agree, it works really well. Linings in here are nice and neat as well. It's all very tidy. I like the way the lighting here is tucked into these feature sections here in the ceiling. It works nicely. The mirror is cleverly positioned there to give you a nice reflection of the space. Some storage in here, book storage. Everywhere you look, there's little bits of detail, and so much went into this design of this boat. It really did. This is an ensuite cabin, so you've got your own designated ensuite in here. Again, decent sized shower, so you've got a rainfall shower above there, and all in beautiful condition, all very clean, all very tidy. I'm sure you'll agree, you can see that in the video. You've got heated towel rails in here, so nice feature, because if you are on board and you've got wet towels on a boat somewhere, you don't necessarily want them up on the cockpit, so these are quite nice. You can put these on and you can just dry your towels, dry your guest towels in the heads without having to take them up top, which is quite a nice little touch. So yeah, hopefully that's quite an interesting run around the accommodation side. I did promise you a look at the garage, so what we'll do now is we'll get back out in that easterly wind and we'll get in the garage and we'll show you that, so keep watching. Before we show you the garage, of course, I have to show you the engine room. So this boat's got the D13 900s. Now, it's enough room down here to get around. You've got really nice lighting down here, so you can easily see what you're doing. You've also got 2 engines in here. Now, they were, I believe, serviced at the end of 25. She's always been looked after locally by Darthaven, which is the boat's been on the River Dart since new, so they've always looked after her. We can obviously provide you more details of that. You've got the pre-filters over there for the fuel, your battery charger, and I think this is where you really start to see a lot of, again, the quality of the Sunseeker build in here. You get to see how everything is lined up, everything is arranged and detailed and labelled. This is a mechanism here for overriding the door, which we looked at earlier, the rise and fall door. You've got your hot water clarifier up here, tucked up, just out of the way. And then you've got some of your switch gear tucked behind these panels. Let's bring that forward. Oh, you can see here again, all of this is really nicely labelled. So if you are wanting to flick any of the systems off, and you can do it all from there. And it just gives you confidence that you can actually do some of your own fault finding if you are out underway and you need to do things. And here you've got a bit of storage. You've got your generator tucked down there. We're on the port side of the boat now. That's the port side corner. Gives you a point of reference there. So that's the generator. These aren't on V-drives, they're on straight shafts. So you can see the coupling just mounted at the rear of the gearbox there, running directly out of the back of the boat. So that's nice. And then you can see some Volvo bits and pieces. So Volvo coolant there, you've got some spare filters down there, belts. So just gives you an idea that the boat's been looked after, it's run nicely. And now, point of reference just on the starboard rear corner of the engine room, just panning back round, and you can see those lovely straight six 13 litre 900 horsepower engines there, pushing this boat along beautifully. A nice place to spend some time. And what's nice here is you could come down and actually, spend a bit of time in here and do some cleaning, get to grips with the systems. Very happy to give you a full handover of this boat, looking at what we've got down here. One of our technicians can do that. So yeah, even got a top-up hose here to top your coolant level or flush your bilges out. So yeah, nice setup. So let's go and have a look in that garage that I promised. Whilst I've been on the engine room, Nathan lifted the garage. So as you can see here, the garage is in its raised position. Ah, what a clean garage. I don't think I've ever seen a garage looking so clean on a boat. Now, I did speak to a gentleman who's been prepping the boat for the season. He did tell me he'd done a lot of work in the garage making it all ready. So it looks really nice and clean. So in here you can get a Williams. So you can have a 345 Williams, and this is the tender launch recovery system. So this is a really clever bit of system, a clever system of rollers that allows you to slide the tender out really pretty effortlessly, to be honest. You've also got a charger in here. So we've got a IP rated 240 volt socket, and then we've got the charger for the battery on the jet rib, so it just keeps the battery topped up when you're not using it. But it's really nice to see how tidy this garage is. This is the remote there for the winch at the fore end of the garage itself, and then you've got that high-low platform. So to launch the tender, you would sink the platform completely, so that's a high-low platform, and then you would let the down button on the rib go, push that, and then the rib will go out over the top of the platform. This pivots and it goes in. So it sounds complicated, but it's not. It's really, really straightforward. And then you can also use this area for some storage if you so wish. Down here on the stern as well, we do have the crew cabin. Now this is locked, so we're going to have to get the key, so stand by. Okay, so we've unlocked that now. Let's get that unlocked. Right, and put the keys there, so windy they might blow away. So I can pop that open now. Okay, so once that's open, I can go down in here. And this has been set up on this boat as a bit of a den. So in here we've got some cool Yeti storage boxes, which are ice boxes as well. And you can see the client here has even got a sort of a makeshift gym for when they're on board. So you've got everything you need. You've got twin socket here. Again, we've still got air conditioning in here. And would you believe, under this section here, there is a loo. So the idea is you can put a mattress here and turn this into a crew cab. You've got a toilet, as I said, there. There's also a sink here, tucked in there. It's quite cool. Needs a bit of a wipe round. And then you've got some storage in here as well. So to be honest, most people I know with these boats will use these as a storage space rather than a crew space. In fact, we've had one client that's even put a washing machine in that space instead of the loo. So that works as a good space. Yeah, I'm sure you'll agree that the 60 EVO definitely offers a huge amount of flexibility, coupled up with some cool styling. And this one's in superb condition, ready to go for the season. So what I'd ask you to do is, if she's of interest or you're looking for a boat, then please do let us know. I'll give the camera back to Nathan so I can just sign this video off. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's been a bit more of an in-depth walkthrough than we would normally do, and we've done that on the basis that we have an existing, or previous, I should say, walkthrough video of this boat. So I just wanted to do a slightly different take on board this boat. So hopefully if you watch the two videos combined, you will know everything about this boat. You'll have seen me age a little bit as well, because I've aged since then to now. But that's good. That's good. The boat is probably fared better than me, maybe. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a note in the comment below. The full description for this boat will be in the description. The full details, I should say, for this boat will be in the description below. Go and check it out. Let me know. My name's Tom Wills. Would love to see you down here. Talk to you about the beautiful River Dart, and perhaps look at getting you a berth down here to run this boat in the West Country. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you again very soon.